just the head inside double leg from a tight waist. And then we'll also go over a single leg option as well. So for those of you guys that haven't done this before, a tight waist half guard is categorized, or basically three things. You need a tight waist, right? You need your scoop grip underneath, and you need what's called a lower leg shift. So what that means is I'm going to switch my inside hook to my outside hook, and then I'm also going to bump him into essentially a quarter guard, right? So his knee's in front of my quad. I'm here, and one of the most important things is turning down so I have good body contact with him. So you can see my entire left side from my shoulder down to my inside hip is on him. This is what allows me to make him carry my weight. So if he tries to move from here, he's largely stuck, right? Keeping your ear tight to the sternum and his chest here will prevent him from being able to darce me or loop my neck. So again, from here, this position, how we come up to our knees is very simple. Basically, we drop this low underhook because if we try to get up now, he has that overhook in, he can drop a lot of weight. We're just gonna lower our arm beneath his butt, right? So again, grabbing like a low single, you retract the inside arm, you put the elbow in front of the knee here, and with this kind of vice, you can build up to your knees very, very easily. So even if Gilbert, who's quite a bit heavier than me, drops a lot of weight on me here, right? He can't stop me from building up, right? Once I'm built up, I can come up to my hand. I'm gonna keep this low single. And just like we would run a regular double leg, I'm just gonna come and grab this knee, right? Again, what I don't wanna do is I don't wanna drive into him because he's strong and he'll take it. What you actually wanna do is come around like you would in a double leg. So I'm gonna come up to my knees and I'm gonna come around and back, right? So like we talked about before, if Gilbert's on his knees facing me, when you shoot a regular double leg, right, you're in like this, right? You grab the legs, but it's not going through, it's coming up and around this way. So this kind of position is exactly the same, except your head's on the inside. So if we just go to that dogfight position from here like this, I'm low here like this. Again, I'm not going into him. My head's just on the inside. And largely what I'm doing, you can do this even without the second leg trap. It's better. But what I'm doing is I'm driving in, I'm coming up to my knees, and I'm coming around the back, right? So you're throwing your weight around. Does that make sense? Right? The single leg option is also there for you, and it comes the other way. So if you guys have seen what a single leg looks like, you stand up, right? A single leg, you're in like this, and largely, there's different ways to do it. You either like pressure down, but most of the time your head's on the inside of a single, and you're turning this way, right? So how you accomplish that, we'll go down to that dogfight position again. Kind of same thing. You're here, you're nice and low. So what happens is anytime you kind of disrupt people's base and stuff like that, you get a chance to reach for this foot, right? So ideally, if he comes up on that leg, he comes up, you can start to do the Kosoto kind of thing, right? So he'll probably drop it back down. That'll come up. Yeah, right? And then that'll give you the opportunity to catch this leg. And then again, instead of just going into him like this, like I can drive all I want, but he can post, right? I'm gonna do a rotation in the counter direction that we did for the double. So the double, you're coming around the back. The single, you're coming around the front. And you're just gonna keep going, and you're just trapping that leg until you can come around. Does that make sense? So the double, you're throwing your ass back this way. The single, you're going in the other way. And you can play off either way. You just have to load enough forward so that they take your weight. And what I mean by that is, if I'm here and I just, I'm coming around, even if I have this, it's tough to do it without driving into him a little bit. So I drive into him, so he has to take that, right? There's enough weight, yeah?
Yep.
So and then I start coming around, right? But if I don't drive into him and I just try to come around, then there's only one threat. He'll just move with me, right? It's because he's posting out that he can't move with me. If I don't drive into him, again, and I come around, so you can take that hand off right now, right? Because there's no weight. If I just come up and around, it's nothing. I have to drive into him so he's posted and then come around. Make sense?